Howdy y'all, I'm Tim, and welcome to the Mr. Maple Show.
Howdy, I'm Matt. Today we got a killer lineup for you today. This is a great 10 at 10. We're back with another Thursday 10 at 10. There's some exciting things offered for the very first time here on the table today.
Today is the 10 at 10 for August 24th of 2023, so you can see the sizes that they are right now. Sometimes they may be smaller or larger than these sizes, but y'all, get excited. We got a killer 10 at 10 for you. Before we get into this 10 at 10, let's talk a little bit about our Labor Day festival coming up, an open house. We're gonna have a food truck, we're gonna have a band, and we're gonna have tons of Japanese maples, right?
Yeah, so if you want something saved, you can always check out, have it picked up there at open house if you don't want it shipped. That's an added benefit to y'all showing up that day. We're gonna have a killer lineup, band, food truck, and more Japanese maples than you could shake a steak and stick at. You're gonna love it. We've got everything going on here today. That is Labor Day at Mr. Maple from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So y'all, let's get to it. We got a 10 at 10 for today. All right, starting out first, we got some 2 gallons of Hanamato. We also got some 1 gallons that are low grass getting listed today as well, but we've got some 2 gallons right now, and they've got some great variegation.
Excellent sizes on these 2-gallon Hanamato. Always a fan favorite. These are very well variegated, so you can rest assured they're gonna look great. They're gonna have a lot of pink on red variegation. Now, if you're growing these in heavy shade, they get even a funkier color in heavy shade. These have been a bit of shade, so you're pink and white and green during this time of the year. In full sun, this one tends to do pretty well up to zone 8, and it'll be a bright pink on dark red. Yeah,
Hanamato is a selection by Tsukasa Maple in Japan. It basically means like a mop-like totem that they carried during the Edo period in front of the firemen, which were kind of like the super cool people during the Edo period. And they still carry these around in parades today, these big mop-like totems. You may have seen them before, and basically means like this flower-covered, decorated totem. And this with this weeping habit and the pink variegation looks like, you know, it's got flowers all over it.
Check these out today on Mr. Maple. All right, y'all, here's another fan favorite. There's some real fan favorites here on the table. People been waiting on this one for a minute to return. We got Hupp's Dwarf, y'all.
Y'all, Hupp's Dwarf, found
by Barbara Hupp.
Yeah, found by Barbara Hupp. She gave it to JD Veritree. She wrote on our website a little bit of the history behind it and how JD Veritree sort of helped introduce this in the nursery trade, the tree that she'd found. A really cool, small growing dwarf. It has a tightly layering habit. It's got some twisting leaves to it. And the new growth is really like a coral pink.
Yeah, this one's funky. We threw it in our Makawa family video. I could be talked into believing it was in the Shishigashira family video. It's got a little bit of both. It's got things I like about Kuranajishi to it. Really a fun tree all around. Classic heat-tolerant dwarf compact form. Has to be in any Makawa garden, in my opinion. Awesome looking plant.
Now, you can be in 2 families. I mean, we're in the Nichols, our mom's side's the Hills, and I do think this one does prolong, like you said, in the Shishigashira family and the Makawa family because of that.
I'm with it. That tight layering is something that is just so cool, and it just gives it that Makawa-like vibes with a different style foliage. Very, very heat-tolerant, very, very durable. Popular for bonsai, popular for containers. Heck, put it in the ground with your Makawas, though. This is going to be one that shows out for texture.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right, what we got next there beside you, Tim?
Next up, we've got Acer Palmatum, El Tigre.
The Tiger King's here, y'all. We got El Tigre. Hope y'all are in for something exotic.
Y'all, this is, if you've heard our podcast on the top 20 Japanese maples in the Makawa family collection, this one here fell on our list. And people started saying, wait a second, what? I never heard of that. Well, guess what, guys? We're going ahead and bringing it to you on a 10 at 10.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever listed El Tigre. Incredibly variegated Japanese maple. It's in that Makawa family as well. It's got tight shingled layering. This one has a little bit more cyclical swirls in it, so you get even a little stronger variegation on this one. Really a premium member of that Makawa family. A lot of y'all can pick it up here for the very first time today on Mr. Maple.
Now, they will sell out fast, so check out fast. Finish that checkout process. Our website doesn't hold it for you just because you add it to cart. These, you know, we're trying to make sure that we've got a large set for you, but at the same time, I mean, I know Mayday sells, you know, 70 out.
70 Maydays almost sell out in a couple days. If one person fusses at me over this one, we're just not going to ship them. I'm kidding. We love this one though, and we love providing cool and interesting stuff. I think you guys are going to love El Tigre. It is super fun, and I think it's going to make just a fun one. That's why it made our top, I think it was number 8 on our all-time Makawa list. That's pretty dang high, y'all. And I think it's going to be a great accompaniment. I really like in the early spring that all of the foliage cups down on this one while it's leafing out. So it almost looks like a cactus. It almost looks kind of bird feathered like. It looks so weird. It has a very different trait to it. I would say probably the closest thing to this one may be Catalina Yatsubusa, but putting them next to each other, they look completely different.
Completely different. The leaf isn't serrated the same. The foliage actually and the variegation reminds me a little bit of Acer Palmatum relish. And that's because during the summer, the variegation is even more pronounced, where you get the lime green on the dark green, tightly layering habit. I mean, this is just a really cool, new, neat introduction, El Tigre.
Now for growth rate and for leaf size for a Makawa type, I would compare this one a little bit more to Mayday on how it grows and how it's thick and dense. It does have a more regular Makawa Yatsubusa style form to it than some of the other variegated ones. I think this one's going to be a classic for years to come. And whether you call it El Tigre or the Tiger King, man, this is going to be an exotic part of your garden right here.
I think El Tigre is a Mexican luchador, like a little small Mexican luchador. And that is so cool because this is like a little dwarf Japanese maple.
Rey Mysterio off the top ropes, y'all. It's going to be a classic. All right, next up on the table, since Tim skipped ahead, we got Acer pseudoseibe subspecies Takasamitse.
Y'all, this is the Oolong Dew maple. It's a zone 4 maple. It comes from Oolong Dew Island, which is between Japan and North Korea. So they've got this little island there, and this grows wild there. It gets the Arctic, the really cold Siberian winds come and hit this. Zone 4. I mean, so it's extremely, extremely cold tolerant.
Yeah, this one is a classic Japanese maple, maybe one of my all-time favorite fall color trees. This one in the fall is exceptional. You can have insane bold metallic reds with yellows and orange accenting that. I have a big one of these in my garden, and it's one of my all-time favorite trees. It is a mouthful to say with that. A lot of people just call us and say, I want that Oolong Dew maple. We know what they're talking about. But Acer pseudoseibe subspecies Takasamitse, amazing plants to be growing.
Now, Matt says he's got one of these. He's got one of these as you walk out right outside his door, so you know he loves this plant. I mean, I love it.
It's probably a 20-foot specimen now. It is amazing.
Now, one thing you'll notice is that the species is really columnar overall. Some people are trying to make columnar selections, and I haven't seen one that is more columnar than the straight species. The species is pretty columnar itself. But an amazing, unique tree. If you love japonicums, you're going to love Acer pseudoseibe subspecies Takasamitse, the Oolong Dew maple. So guys, coming up next, we've got Acer shirosaw 6910, sometimes referred to as Holland 6910.
Yeah, this one's a classic Acer shirosaw. Has a lot of those classic shirosawa vibes to it. Large, round, full moon leaves, great oranges and yellows in the fall color, and just a nice mid-size upright. Definitely develops a little bit more of that white pale, that white kind of bark to it that is classic for Acer shirosawa.
It's almost like shirosawa and palmatopholium, but less cupping of the foliage. The leaves are a little bit wider as well. Still has deeply incised foliage to it, even though it's got that full moon style foliage. So we're trying to bring you some really fun plants in that full moon, the Acer japonicums, Acer shirosawa. They're some of our favorite plants, and this is one you don't see often in the nursery trade.
It's a good one. All right, putting some conifers here on the table. We got a little sea urchin action going on.
You know, we've had those sea urchins in 2 gallons. Well, we're bringing sea urchins in 1 gallons. I mean, these fit in our 1 gallon boxes. That means they're going to ship cheaper. And it just has a tight little compact habit. Sea urchin was found as a witch's broom, and it's just so unique and so different.
I think actually Sid Waxman had this as a seedling from a witch's broom. Really cool plant, tight, compact habit to it, really unique. And I love when a Japanese maple has the perfect name for what it does. Sea urchin aptly describes that blue-green vibes you get with this, the texture, the color, everything about it, really unique.
Yeah, I mean, this one just gives you a really nice blue-green color, fits in a lot of small spaces, works so well for so many different things. It is a pine that you're definitely gonna love.
All right, y'all, these sea urchins are gonna work zones 3 through 8. Don't submerge them underwater. They don't wanna be in that kind of habitat. These are gonna do excellent for you, and it's a showpiece in your garden.
Yeah, definitely a cool plant. If you're ever at the New York Botanical Garden, they've got a whole little area dedicated to Sid Waxman and the seedlings from witch's brooms and witch's brooms he found. You can go ride their little tram, they talk about it. It's kind of cool that, you know, somewhere like that is going that in depth into the horticulture history.
That was the Disney World I want to go. Put me on the ride and tell me about the trees. That's what's up. All right, y'all, we've got lemon lime lace back on the table for y'all. exquisite yellow to lime green lace leaf.
Lucky sevens. Whenever Matt and I got this cultivar from Del Laux, who introduced this selection, he had on the tag LLL, but upside down, it looked like 777. So for a while, I thought this cultivar was lucky sevens.
You're gonna think you hit the jackpot with this one.
This is a weeping green lace leaf. It gives sort of lime green new growth to it, which is really unique and different, and can give you some really nice lemon yellow almost colors with that new growth.
Incredible small tree, great compact habit to it, intense yellows in the fall as well, to some even orange colors in it, but it's typically a really bright yellow early. Excellent for that container garden. It's a little smaller than many other green lace leaf selections. Get an even dwarfer habit to it. Looks excellent in a big patio planter.
It gives you some really amazing fall color. Lemon lime lace, it's a great tree to pair out there with your Tamukiyamas, your red dragons, your firefalls. It really just gives you a unique color out there that differentiates itself from waterfall and Verdus.
Awesome lace leaf here.
And that would have been LT Gray. I had to jump ahead, guys. I got excited, had to jump ahead. So guys, next up we've got Acer Palmatum, Bergman.
Oh, this is a great lace leaf. We have one of these in our display garden at the nursery, and everybody always asks for this one. The Bergmans, they had rare flora nursery. We talked about a little bit about them in our podcast with Billy Schwartz. Billy Schwartz was actually a lawyer for them and knew the Bergmans well. The Bergmans named a ton of cool plants from rare flora, Bonnie Bergman, Barry Bergman, Bergman's dwarf pine. There's so many great plants they introduced. And Barry Bergman, classic weeping Japanese maple.
Yeah, it can give you some nice cherry red colors in the spring going to deep maroons. One you don't see too often in the nursery trade. It's got a heavily cascading habit. A lot of the Bergman's introductions, rare flora is named after the nursery. They've got Barry Bergman. We've offered Egna Bergman. And then we've also offered Bonnie Bergman, their pine. And so they've got an amazing collection of plants from their rare flora nursery. This one here is a classic red lace leaf that you're gonna really like.
Awesome plant. All right, last but not least on the table, and then there's a bonus one on the floor. We've got Emmetts Pumpkin, guys.
Y'all, Emmetts Pumpkin has these large japonicum leaves and that pumpkin orange fall color. And that's where I get this name of Emmetts Pumpkin. It's just a cool japonicum. Grows real well for us at Maplewood Gardens. We've loved this plant for a long time.
It makes your garden smell like a pumpkin spice latte. So that's one of the things people like about it as well.
I knew nothing about that. I still don't know anything about that. But this is a cool tree that is pretty amazing.
He drinks the pumpkin spice lattes, I don't.
This thing here is spectacular. I mean, the large japonicum leaves add so much texture in the landscape. In the early spring, you can get some blooms that hang off these because everything's bigger in the japonicums, including the blooms. That means you get an extra ornamental appeal in that early spring. I mean, this tree just rocks it. It's been one of my favorite japonicums for a long time, and still is today.
One of the great things about Emmetts Pumpkin too is it's got a great growth rate. So this is a japonicum that gets out there quickly, typically over a foot to even 1.5 foot of growth in a season. So it does fill out. There's some exceptional size 1 gallons on these right now as well, but it does get out there quickly. You get a blushing of that orange in the spring, exquisite orange fall color on that pumpkin size foliage, making it a very aptly named tree. All right, we got some bonuses back here behind us, y'all.
Y'all, we got some 6 gallons of Acer Palmatum.
Let's set it here in the middle.
Acer Palmatum Purple Ghost. Y'all been asking for bigger plants. We're bringing it. We got Purple Ghost. This is one of the best of the Ghost series, one of my favorite of the Ghost series. We recently went and visited Talon Buchholz and got to see the original tree out in the garden. Got a cool story behind it as well. I mean, this is a fun tree that can give you unreal colors of that fuchsia purple to that lavender purple each and every spring.
Stay tuned to our upcoming walkthrough of the Buchholz Gardens. We might do a Buchholz week here like Shark Week. We're still figuring out what to do with that. Maybe we'll just do a whole Buchholz week and talk about that. An incredible Buchholz introduction here. Purple Ghost, maybe the most popular introduction of Talons. It's definitely one that's been so widely distributed all over the world. We'll take you to that original Purple Ghost there in the gardens, and it's something super cool to see. When it was planted there, it was just named by the block it was at. Didn't even have a name on it.
1993 in the block.
Incredible tree here, Purple Ghost. I think it's helped popularize Japanese maples all around the world. Killer sizes on this one today.
Not only did this tree give you amazing color, it gives you a nice upright tree out there in the landscape. And it has a really good form to it. This is a tree that gives you a killer fall color as well. But you know, when we were walking around the gardens with Talon before COVID and we saw the original tree, we got to take a selfie with Talon in front of the tree in perfect fall color. And it's just amazing to just keep seeing this tree that's made its way all the way around the world. This tree right here, it deserves a place in your garden. I mean, the colors are unreal, the form is amazing. Pair it with a summer gold, and you're gonna have that yellow dance and purple dance going on in your garden.
Perfect tree though. That early spring color is more purple. Right now, at this time of the year, you do get a little bit more green. Incredible bright reds to almost purple reds in the fall as well. So get them now, get them in the ground, enjoy some of that fall color. Exceptional Japanese maple.
So y'all, we got our open house. You're gonna wanna be there. I mean, we're gonna have so many fun things going on at the open house. We got the band, we got a ton of people coming from all around the United States who love Japanese maples just like you do. We got me and Matt out here going around where we can talk to us. I mean, you're gonna love being at our open house. We got a lot of Japanese maples that some of you may have never even seen before.
Yeah, and definitely check out our Tenant 10 today. A lot of these items won't last long, so make sure to get them in cart. Check out, especially some of the more desirable ones do tend to go pretty quickly. Again, I apologize to everybody about May Day last week. We do our very best to make it easy here at MrMaple. We're always upping our sets, and our goal is never to frustrate people with these, but to make it fun and something exciting and to provide the best Japanese maples we can every single week for you guys.
I can promise you, as a nurseryman, our goal is to get as many of these available for you as we can, and we work hard to do that. Sometimes trees just grow in popularity quicker than we can actually produce them. So make sure you check out fast. We'd really appreciate it.
All right, guys, hope to see you soon at the upcoming open house.
Take care.
I'm still in this El Tigre. I'm out.
God bless, and have a great day.